Welcome to Daddy vs. Doctor. Here are your hosts, pediatrician Dr. Scott Cohen and comedian Sebastian Maniscalco.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Daddy vs. Doctor, where we cover tantrums, public urination. What else do we got?
I mean, the best call that we've had was a teenager who had some tough teenage years, and your comedy actually got her through it. And that was just the most heartwarming thing, that you're changing people's lives in what you're doing. So we're gonna go talk about that.
Yeah, that was very, very sentimental. It was very emotional, and it was very touching to hear this story of this particular teenager. Now, if you want to be on the show, we ask you to visit our website, which has a plethora of information at daddyversusdoctor.com. If you want to be on the show, email us directly at daddyversusdoctor@gmail.com. Leave your question. If you need some advice, your behavioral issue, whatever it might be, we'll get back to you, and hopefully we'll have you here on Daddy versus Doctor. There we go. We're up and running. Well, you know what? This is the first caller. We've done 10 episodes. This is the first caller, Mindy, that has done this from their bedroom. We feel really privileged here to get a bird's eye view of the headboard.
The sheets are doing laundry.
No, that's okay. The life of parents, you know.
What's going on? What's the question you got for us today?
Well, oh God, this is gonna sound terrible. I'm such a schmuck. When I didn't know the premise of your show, when I got the original message,
Yeah.
it just asked, do you want to discuss? And I wanted to discuss something that was very dear to our hearts. My heart is racing. You have no idea what you mean to our family, Sebastian.
Oh, thank you.
Our daughter was 16. I'm taking you through the house because she fell asleep, so I'm going to go wake her up. Our daughter's 16 years old. At 11 years old, she came to me one day and told me she wanted to kill herself. You can imagine what that does to a parent, right?
Yeah.
And long story short, after 2 times of being in Children's Hospital for 8 days straight with our daughter, she was diagnosed with high-functioning autism. She was, 11, almost 12 years old, going through puberty, which I guess somebody with autism, high-functioning, that they, puberty is like the worst time because of the social stuff that goes on. Anyway, one of the things that brought her out of what she went through was not only the diagnosis of autism, but you.
Oh, wow.
She started watching you. Now, normally I wouldn't let my child at 11 years old watch Sebastian Maniscalco, but she really latched on to, and she watched your show approvingly. She could imitate you, the thing where you're doing with the hair through the house. He would do that, like imitate that. It was so good. But reasons why he's alive today, and I guess it might not.
Get her up. Can we meet her?
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes, we're gonna wake her up.
This is unbelievable.
Oh my God, I gotta part the ceiling because you don't want to see this bedroom. Oh, she's not dead.
That's all right.
That's all right.
So do we. What's up?
Oh my God.
We're so sorry we got you out of bed, but I had to meet you.
That's perfectly fine. Sorry.
What's going on?
Not much.
Well, not much. Where are you guys? What city? What time is it there?
It's Ohio, Bainbridge, Ohio.
Oh, okay. Midwest. Teeny little town. So what's going on? What do you guys do for fun out there?
What, Sebastian?
That's why we're asleep at 7:30.
Is that why you're in bed so early? There's not much to do. Go to bed. This is.
We in Cincinnati.
Oh yeah, no, that was this year, wasn't it? Wasn't I in Cincinnati this year? Yeah.
All right. So what's your favorite Sebastian? Give me your best Sebastian imitation.
That's a hard one. Aren't you embarrassed?
Yeah.
That was probably my favorite.
He wants you to do an impersonation.
I want to see. I want to see a little of the act.
We heard you love the bow and arrow. Hello.
He's gonna kill me.
This is great.
Oh, this is fantastic. So what are you, you're 16?
Yeah.
16. So what is that, junior in high school? Yeah?
Yeah.
So tomorrow you get to go to school, tell everybody you met your hero, Sebastian Maniscalco. Trust me, if you knew him, nothing's not so great.
No,
but
listen,
you know.
She's going to go to school and she's going to go, I talked to Sebastian Maniscalco last night, and everybody's going to go, who?
I guarantee this problem is going to happen. So small. Nobody knows anything.
I can't wait till you wake up tomorrow morning and you ask your mom about this, and she goes, I don't know what you're talking about. I think you were dreaming.
People aren't you a bit? Just
I can talk. You got right now.
all right.
Sounds like my house.
I guess I have a question. I just really wanted you to touch on, one of the things that the big giant pressures these kids have through puberty and social media.
Yeah.
It's not like when Sebastian and I were kids. You have a fight at school, you punch the kid in the nose, you go home, and it's over with. It goes so far beyond it. It's 24/7.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't really have a question per se.
No, there doesn't need to be a question. What's more important is that the two of them met and what an impact Sebastian had, and that you're here to talk about it with us today, which is amazing.
Yeah, listen, sometimes when I'm doing stand-up comedy, I don't really know who's on the other end of it or who's enjoying it or the reason for why they're watching it. But when you hear a story like yourself, who really kind of gravitated towards the material, for me, it's really humbling, and I'm flattered that you really enjoy what I do. And as far as the bullying is concerned nowadays, I was bullied when I was a kid. On the back of the bus, I remember, I didn't know. I sat at the back of the bus, and when somebody else got on the bus, they said, "You're in my seat. Go up to the front of the bus." And for the whole ride, they shot spitballs in the back of my head. And you know how I dealt with that is through humor. I made people laugh, and they were accepting of me. But nowadays, I don't really know what people are going through, and it's got to be awful on social media, and people are mean, and people are, just not nice. But my advice to you, if that's happening to you, or anybody that's going through this, is, you have a wonderful family, you have people that love you, and in life you're going to find these bad apples along the way, and you just have to pay them no mind and get through it. I know that's easier said than done, but just know there is definitely light at the end of the tunnel on some of this stuff that you might feel like, oh, this feels like shit, or these people are not being so nice to me. So listen, you're a beautiful young lady. You have a wonderful, wonderful mother, and my goal for you is to stay up past 7:30.
I want to tell you one thing about your show. You always talk about in one of your shows, you talked about being dressed up or whatever. When we went to your show, I bought a Ralph Lauren dress because we were going to the show,
Wow.
and my husband wore a three. We live in the States. I didn't even know what Ralph Lauren was until I bought this dress. But my daughter was dressed to the nines. My husband wore a three-piece suit, and we go to this thing in Cincinnati, and people were there in, like, shorts and sweatpants, and we were like, aren't they embarrassed that we were so embarrassed for this?
I'm so glad that you guys dressed up to come see me. I just did a Netflix special where I asked everybody to dress up and be presentable. And out of 1,400 people, I think maybe 40 of them did it. So it's nice that you guys took the time out to come see me and dress up. That really means a lot. And we really appreciate your call today. It was really, really nice to hear.
The best.
Well, thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
No problem.
for everything.
Bye. Nice to meet you.
Get some sleep and don't let that is that a ceiling fan? We don't want that.
Yeah, I mean, you're really close to that.
Yeah, just watch that when you get up at night, that it doesn't take your head off.
Yo.
Take care.
Bye, sweetie.
Bye-bye.
I mean, is there anything better? I mean, the impact you had on somebody's life.
Listen.
And you don't know. It's just
No,
it's very emotional.
No clue. I mean, sometimes, like I just said, you don't know what's on the other end of this. I'm just up there making people laugh, and people are going through a lot, in this world. This poor woman was thinking of taking her life. So yeah, it's really, sometimes you get an email, and but when you see it, it adds a whole different dynamic to what comedy does for people. So yeah, very, very, very cool.
I love what you said about redirecting it, taking it and finding something you love to redirect. You did comedy, because you're right. These mental health needs in the last 2.5 years, I mean, I've never seen so much. I think we talked about it. I've seen more mental illness and needs in adolescents in the last 2.5 years than I saw in my first, 15 years in practice combined.
Yeah.
And a combination of, this is the time of their life. They should be out and about and being with friends and socializing. We literally locked them in a cage for 2.5 years, and that's not natural, and it's unfair. And it was very hard for a lot of kids to cope, and we're coming out of it. And sometimes just coming out of it and being able to do the things you naturally can, socialize and be with friends, makes things better. And some kids, it takes a long time, and you need therapy, and it's just really sad to watch.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And this caller in particular, and I don't really, I've heard autism and levels, and what exactly is high functioning autism? What does that mean?
Autism in general, and this is a very gross generalization, often has trouble with receptive language and socialization. So you can imagine going through teenage years where socialization is such a big part of your life and your identity, and that's just hard to manage. And sometimes you don't even recognize that it's so difficult, and that can lead to other things like anxiety and depression. High functioning just means that, for a lot of people, like you talk to her right now, you would never know that anything's going on, that there's a diagnosis here, because she's able to do everything that everybody else is able to do. But there's some areas in her life that are more difficult for her than maybe other people. And I think it's just all been compounded, like you said, COVID, social media. I mean, everybody comparing to everybody, it's got to be tough. I love that. I mean, that whole thing is amazing. Yeah,
that was really, really cool call. We've been doing this for 10 episodes, and I got to tell you that was one of the most heartfelt calls that we got here. I mean, we're talking about pooping in the pants and the crib and this and that, but this was. I mean,
it makes it makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah.
So.
I just want to tell you guys that this is the first time we've had callers from an incline bench. This is. If
you want to see the rest of it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you got a whole thing going on there.
We should do reps while we talk.
Exactly.
So what's going on?
Kids don't come that much.
What do you got? What's the question?
So the question is, I guess when my wife was potty training our son, the concept is keep him naked for 2 weeks. So my wife was very, very strict about that, and he was naked the whole time. I think he enjoyed actually being naked. So obviously you learn how to pee in the potty. Just recently, my son played his first T-ball league, and my dad, grandpa, taught him how to pee on a building, like in the movie Big Daddy. There's no bathrooms anywhere near the fields, so he enjoyed that very much. So now his favorite places to pee are everywhere but the toilet. Recently, he is obsessed with Hudson Tractor. He builds holes. He digs holes in the backyard. He pees in the holes. Most recently, he peed in a pumpkin on our front porch. That was the best one. My wife picked him up from preschool, and he goes to the door. He's 3 years old. He opens it. She turns around. He's peeing in the jack-o'-lantern that we made with Grandpa. So our issue is we're just more worried that he's going to do this at preschool in his threes program, and we're going to come home with like a misdemeanor or something.
All right, so I got a 3.5-year-old, or almost 3.5, and he's exhibited some of this behavior. Just the other night, he pissed in his dump truck, and I felt that it was an FU to the family. I felt like something didn't go his way, and he's like, all right, and he just whipped it out and he started, decorating his toys. And my wife taught him to go outside. So he every once in a while take it out and he'll just, urinate on the lawn. And I'm like, you can't do this because I don't want the kid growing up. And next thing you know, he's 17 years old and he's whipping it out at the movie theater. I mean, like, I was concerned that this was going to be a repetitive behavior and he was not going to pee in the toilet. Have you seen this behavior before, and is it concerning?
I've seen this behavior before. I will say your son, this is very elaborate, digging holes, pumpkins. It's quite impressive, I must say. You should, a little kudos to him for his innovation.
Yeah.
And his name is pretty impressive too.
Yeah, right. So, but you're right. I mean, the concern as a parent, and rightfully so, we can't be doing this at the mall or school or a movie theater. So, I mean, I think you do have to show him that when he does go, there's a place to go, which is the bathroom. I think if he starts doing this, you should take him into the bathroom. So we're finishing there. I know there's going to be a little cleanup on aisle 5 when you do that, but you don't want him just to feel like it's funny and everybody's laughing and you're doing it, because then he's getting it. It's a lot of attention-seeking behavior, right? So I'm sure there's going to be one-off with in the woods with Grandpa at the baseball game, and you can almost say, well, oh my God, I have to go so bad and there's no place to go. We can go here. But for the most part, he has to know that there is a place to go and it's in the bathroom, right?
Yeah, I'm reluctant to tell you this story, but I think I just have to. I don't know if I can. I'll tell you. I'll tell you the story.
Now you have to tell the story now. I know.
I was in traffic with my 2 kids, all right? We were going home. On this particular road, there is nowhere to go to the restroom, all right?
Mm-hmm.
I had to go, all right? I had a bottle in the car.
Mm-hmm.
I pulled over and I urinated into the bottle with my 2 kids in the back seat. Now listen, I couldn't hold it.
Right, you couldn't hold it. There's exceptions to the rule.
I know,
right?
but my daughter's like, Daddy, what are you doing up there? And I go, this is something we don't do.
Yeah.
There's no restroom.
Right.
Daddy's got to go.
Yeah.
And she's like, what are you going in? And I'm like, I'm going in a water bottle. This is not a proud moment.
Did you get your car detailed after that?
Well, believe me, it's not the first time I've done this.
Was that at least like a Gatorade bottle, like a big old
He's
one?
thinking wide mouth. That's nice of him. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Believe me, I don't this is fine. But Yeah, in regards to this situation and my son's situation, my son isn't as active as your son is and creative where he goes, but you're recommending that they definitely get him into some type of potty or toilet.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah. Just so he knows the difference, right? Because right now he just thinks it's fun. He gets a lot of attention for it. Anywhere he digs a hole, he pees. So yeah, we want him back in the right spot.
Want him back on the right. Yeah, we don't want him coming into the gym and spraying the bench.
What I'm most worried about, to be honest, are you guys going trick or treating for Halloween? Because none of the neighbors are gonna like you. I mean, I can just imagine him door to door, just little bits. This is gonna be a disaster. Send video,
Right
please.
in the take one container.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we appreciate you guys calling in. Thank you for your time. We really do appreciate it.
Thank
Talk
you.
to you later.
You got it.
I appreciate you sharing that, and I'll one up you because it's not me, it's my wife, so she'll love this.
Yeah.
We were driving to Vegas, and there's those big gaps between exits.
Oh, yeah.
She said she had to go to the bathroom, and then I went by one because I wanted to make good time to get to Vegas. Do you really need to go? We don't need to stop. And then we realized the next one wasn't for like 25 miles. So she's a little more innovative. She actually took nail clippers, water bottle, clipped around the bottle, so it was large. And right there, it was very impressive, and not a drip.
Wow.
Drip.
And the kids were in the car?
I can't remember that. No, I think I remember a lot of getting yelled at, so I don't know that they were in the car. I think it was just the two of us.
Yeah, I just thought that my situation was definitely something that the kids will go, yeah, I remember when Dad urinated in the car, even though they're at such a young age.
Probably a college essay.
Probably. Hi, Meg.
Okay.
Hi.
What's going on?
Dr. Cohen.
Hi, welcome to Daddy versus Doctor.
I'm sorry?
Oh, I was just welcoming you to Daddy versus Doctor.
Oh,
Nothing
you.
nothing important. Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't hear. My husband
What's
has
up,
the
man?
volume down.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. How's it going?
All right.
What's the question? Where are we at today? What's going on over there? Why are you guys so far apart? Get closer.
We see each other all the time.
There you go.
Bored. Tantrums. We got a lot of problems around this house.
All right. We
Where
love
should we
this.
start, Mike?
Oh,
Is divorce one of them?
I don't know where we're going with this.
Is divorce one of them? I mean, what are we going to get into here?
no.
He checked in with her on that
Thinking
one.
about that.
He's like,
This was her idea to come on here. I'm just here for backup.
All right.
Okay, so we got a 4.5-year-old and a 3-year-old, Mia and Michael, and it's a love-hate relationship between those two, and between me and them. So Michael he's going through like a tantrum phase right now, worse than Mia ever did. Like we were in Myers the other day shopping, and he just had a meltdown because he wanted this.
and he got it.
Legos. Yeah, he did. He,
We solved the problem.
Hey, right. For like 20 minutes, he was upset. He said no, it was too advanced for him. We weren't gonna. I don't have a PhD in architecture. I'm a lawyer. He's a judge. So we're like, no, we don't want to fool with those little tiny things, right? So I'm like, no, you can get whatever else you want in the store, just not that. So we put it down and all through the store. I hate you. You're a terrible mommy. On and on and on. Screaming. Carrying on. I just acted like I didn't see him. I acted like I ignored him. Carrying on. I was getting dirty glares and stares from everybody. And we went on about our business because I've tried spanking. I've tried timeout. Nothing really works with him. And finally, Mia, my daughter, she's like, Mommy, I can't stand it anymore. Just go get the Legos. I'm like, you know what, you're right. I can't either. And everybody was just glaring at me. So we went and got it. And I got the Legos, and here they are. And my son, Michael, he's like, there's a million pieces. I can't do it. So they're just sitting here. We always cave. We're suckers. We're suckers. We don't like to hear the noise. He has meltdowns at restaurants. We love eating out. One time he balled up in a corner and started taking off his clothes.
Wow. Well, let me go through this.
Yeah.
First, are you guys from Chicago or the Midwest?
Yeah, my husband was born and raised in Chicago.
Orland Park.
Okay, yeah. There's the
Southwest suburb.
I detect an accent, and if you weren't born in Orland Park, you're definitely picking up on your husband's accent because now you got it. All right.
Right.
So, how old is your son?
He's 3.
He's 3. Okay.
3 years old.
So, this is my own assessment. It's not backed by any type of medical research. It's my own opinion. This child has been reinforced with bad behavior. So, if you scream, if you kick, if you scream, you get whatever. Right?
Yep. Yeah.
And so if he knows he's going to get whatever he wants, oh, there he is. Look at that.
He's cute. Look at that hair. It's great.
Yeah, here's
Oh, his Legos.
Oh yeah, no, that's what you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should make him sit there and build it. 1,000 pieces. Talk to me when you're done.
Yeah, so the behavior's being rewarded,
Right.
Right. So why is he gonna,
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The hardest part is, what's he gonna do next time? Exactly the same thing, because he got what he wanted out of it, and he got something that he can't even do it. It just shows you it has nothing to do with even the Legos. He can't even do anything with the Legos. They're way beyond his years. He wanted it, so he was gonna flip out until he got it.
Yeah.
And that's sort of like all behavior, right? At home, it's for attention, just to see if we get it. And as parents, you're right. I mean, it's so hard because we usually just like throw up our arms. It's easier not to deal with it. Your daughter was the first one, the most rational. She's like, I just can't take it anymore. Give him the Legos, right? Which is what we usually do as parents. But then the problem is it reinforces the behavior.
So the next time he's like this in the store, we just don't give it to him.
No, I mean, sometimes in public places, all you can do is you got to pick him up and you got to leave the store. Restaurants, same thing. Sometimes we're putting a lot on a child that developmentally they're not supposed to be able to do. A 4-year-old isn't supposed to sit at a restaurant for 2 hours and have a nice dinner. We want them to. That's why they're there, but they're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Shopping, things like that. So a lot of times our expectations on the child may be not developmentally appropriate, and we need to either do it and suffer the consequences or pick them up and go and say, sorry, we're not dealing with it. Yeah.
Also, did you guys meet in the courtroom?
We met in law school.
Oh, okay. And
In law school, and then we stuck it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
and what law are you practicing?
Probably malpractice.
Personal injury and family law.
Family law. All right. No, because my dad still lives in Chicago, and I was wondering if you guys could get him maybe out of his property taxes, especially maybe the judge.
Yeah, he's the judge.
He's the judge. All right.
I can't even get myself out of my property taxes. So.
Well, thanks for coming on, guys. Thanks for staying up late. I know it's late in Chicago.
Yeah, it's late in Chicago. Get these kids to bed. They need some sleep.
Quick, we saw you a couple of weeks ago at the Win on October 8th. The 10:30 show was great.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks for coming out to the show. We don't have an air date on that Netflix special yet, but I'll keep you guys posted.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Good luck with the Legos.
Good luck, man.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
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 Thank you.
See, and look at his face. He knows.
Yeah, he
He
knows.
knows
He knows.
exactly.
He knows exactly what
He
he's
knows.
doing.
He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows we're talking about him too.
And also boys, aren't boys a lot more temperamental than little girls? I've noticed that with Caruso compared to Serafina. He's a lot more aggressive and pushes the boundaries more. And in that house, you could just tell, I mean, like, you got to nip that in the bud.
It's so hard because you just give up as a parent. You're just like, I can't take it.
Yeah, but then
you can't do it.
If you do that multiple times, then the kid's running the house.
The next time he goes to the store, it's going to be exactly the same situation.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So,
I agree.
I know.
That guy, it's funny to meet like a judge and a lawyer who probably have control of their entire life, especially their professional life, especially a judge got control of his courtroom. He comes home, he's got no control.
You're right. I see that with so many new parents because, they've worked all their life. They've had lots of jobs. They control their situations. And now it's the first time in their life they're in a situation where they have no control of. And I think that lends itself to a lot of the questions because you're like, wait a second, in work, everything works perfectly exactly how I want it, but my child doesn't.
Yeah.
Problem is children don't.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
What's up, guys?
Hi.
You caught me right when I started to eat some Cheetos.
Oh, that's all right.
Wow, man.
We should have a bowl of like chips or pretzels here.
Oh, that'd be great for the microphones.
Thanks.
So first of all, is that fit? Was that artwork in the back like a fish? What is that?
That's the crib back there. So there's a bunch of there's some mermaids. There's some fish, kind of like almost like she's in a little fish tank in there. I put those up myself.
Oh, nice.
Good job.
Nice, bro.
I can't do anything.
No, I can't do that.
No.
I just bought, what is
They're
it?
just little stickers. You come put them on the wall.
Are you talking about the mobile?
I bought the mobile.
You couldn't put up a mobile by yourself?
No, I had somebody do it. What's the question today?
So my question is, I think, a lot of new parents have it. We have a 3-month-old. It's our first. So really the question is, how much gas is too much gas? And, is it an issue if my daughter's waking up in the middle of the night, to pass gas? If I can hear it from the other room, is that a little bit too forceful? Is there anything that we should be doing to feed her? At that age, I don't know if she can eat anything else, but that's the topic du jour.
You're gonna go right to genetics, I know.
Well,
in your family.
Well, I don't know. I think that is passed down, especially in our family.
I think it's passed down.
So, is there a concern based on the amount of gas that a kid's passing at 3 months?
So I don't think it's around amount; it's how much it affects her. So babies can be very gassy, and the truth is, if it doesn't bother her, it shouldn't bother you. And as the digestive system matures, it usually gets better. The first couple months of life, the plumbing isn't good. Every time she has to poop, every time she has to pass gas, there's a lot of grunting, pushing. And it's not that it hurts. She's just trying to figure out the muscles to get it out. And then there is this point around 3 months that the GI tract is more mature and things sort of move through better. The other question is breastfed or formula fed?
Breastfed.
And is the gas specifically around the breastfeeding to the point where she's miserable pushing away the breast, or it's intermittent throughout the day and she passes and she's fine?
Well, sorry, I should clarify. She feeds from a bottle.
Okay.
So my wife is pumping, but she's drinking breast milk.
Okay.
But it doesn't seem like it's around feeding. I mean, she'll wake up in the middle of the night and just start yelling.
Okay.
And screaming at the ceiling, and then she'll fart, and then she goes back to sleep.
She passes it. And she's been growing normally. Otherwise, everything's been fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this sounds like normal gas. I like probiotics. Probiotics in babies have been shown sometimes can help the gas, can help the fussiness. If we thought the gas was directly related to something she was eating, mom's breast milk, and that was causing fussiness around it, sometimes we'll do what we call a maternal elimination diet. We'll remove things from mom's diet that are common causes of allergies or sensitivities, dairy, eggs, things like that. But honestly, if she's feeding well, gaining good weight, the bottles go down without a problem, and it's intermittent gas throughout the day, that sounds like something normal. She'll outgrow it. Doesn't matter the smell. Doesn't matter if you hear it. Probiotics and breastfeed.
Well, there you have it. I mean, I remember Serafina. Serafina would let a few go where the volume was pretty. I mean, pretty
impressive.
Pretty impressive.
Again, from your side of the family.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, it came from my side. I don't think Lana. Well, I can't. Yeah. No, it's from our
Your
side.
side.
It's all right.
But did it bother you? Or you like high five her?
No, you know what? There was an issue with gas early on because, they get this face, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it turns red and you could tell something's going on. And we're like, is that normal?
Mm-hmm.
Because that doesn't look right.
Yeah.
But we were unaware at the time that the kids didn't have fully developed. I don't know. You just get a baby. You just think it's just supposed to happen, right?
Right.
But you don't realize sometimes things need to develop and whatnot. But if they are gassy at night and they're crying, do you just wait to let them do it, or do you go and like?
No, if they're really fussy at 3-month-olds, I would pick her up. I would soothe her. But if she's fussy for a short time, passes gas and is fine, that's something she can push through.
I have to admit,
What?
and I'd be lying if I didn't say this.
Okay.
Talking about gas, I gotta let one out right now.
Do it. Do it. You yelled at me for chips and pretzels, and you got mics.
Not that I'm
Shut
going
the mics
to.
off.
I'm just and believe me, him eating Cheetos, God knows what's going on with his stomach. Just let her pass it, bro. It's okay. Just as long as she's looking at those fish,
You're good.
you're good.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks. Can't wait to show this to her in high school when her friends come over.
That's it. Perfect. At the wedding.
At the wedding, yeah.
You're wearing black pants. You're fine.
No, I
You're
gotta go to the bathroom.
Really? We're going to cut for that?
No, we're
That's
good.
fine.
We're good. That's just a joke. It's a joke. It's Eddie versus Doctor. I provide the comedy. He provides
the answers. The answers.
So today's show, very interesting. I want to touch upon before we leave here. And I asked you this earlier in the week, and I don't know if you've done any research on it. Serafina was crying.
Mm-hmm.
She was sick at the time. I went to go kiss her, and I basically kissed her tear.
Yeah.
Can I get whatever she has through a tear?
So you asked me that. It really piqued my interest. I'm like, wow, never learned in medical school contagion through tears. And even though there were some studies specifically actually with COVID that they may have found some viral particles there, the viral particles, if it's going to be in a tear, are going to be probably not a lot. And the reason you spread illness is because of something coming from me to you, right? So I sneeze, I'm shooting mucus and saliva in your face. Mm-hmm. I'm touching my nose and I'm touching something else, and then you're touching that and putting it in your mouth or nose. You're not shooting lacrimal duct tears, from one person to the other. Yeah, so I think
I'm kissing it.
But it's such a small. I think the chance of that is very, very unlikely.
Okay, here's another
That's
one.
what I came up with.
Here's another one for you, and maybe we'll call this segment "Stump the Doctor." I don't know.
All right, there we go. Hasn't happened in 20 years. I'm just saying. No, just kidding. Let's see if you're the first.
My child is sick.
Yes.
Takes a drink of water from like a cup, sets it down. That cup stays there unwashed for 2 days.
Yeah.
I go and drink out of the same cup. Can I get sick? Is the virus still living on the edge of the
You're
cup?
like a hypochondriac.
I'm just.
So it's possible, but it depends on the type of container. So bacteria and viruses live longer on non-porous stuff like metal and plastic. It depends on the type of weather. So if it's cold and high humidity, it would last longer. And it also depends how much she put there, like she was really sick and it was a lot of mucus, a lot of saliva. So viruses can live on surfaces for hours, sometimes even days. Mm-hmm. So it's possible. The longer it's there, the less likely to be super contagious for you.
Okay. There's another one.
All right. I like this.
Am I more likely?
Do you believe anything I say? I could just literally be making this up.
Hey, bro, you're speaking into
somebody would write in that he's just making stuff up.
No, this has been vetted. This guy has seen
vetted.
This guy's seen a lot this 20 years. Am I more likely to get sick from my wife or from my kids? Is the virus weaker in kids, or is it the same virus?
It's not that it's necessarily weaker, it's how they transmit it. So your wife's more likely to cough or sneeze with force and shoot that virus to you than a child.
Okay, so actually the virus living in my child is as strong.
Yeah, it's the same. It could be the same exact virus.
Oh, okay.
But also viruses in different people can show up with different symptoms also. So it depends on the viral load in that person and the amount of symptoms and how much they're spreading it to you. But like you said, you're like Teflon. You can't get sick.
No, I mean, knock on wood here. I feel like I've really went into belly of the beast here with the virus, both on Caruso and Serafina. So as an advice to a parent, when your kids are sick,
don't touch them. They're disgusting.
Well, I mean, you give them a bath, you pick them up. Shit, what did I come with something?
Oh, yeah. See, we said this. Now you have pneumonia.
I mean, obviously, you're going to take care of your kids, right? But I've always thought, oh, it's a kitty cold. I can't get a kitty cold. I could pick them up and kiss them and whatnot. My point is, I don't change any behavior.
Look, you're the parent, right? You shouldn't change the behavior. They're going to sleep with you. You're going to love them. You're going to kiss them. If it was somebody else's kid and they felt that way, what would you do?
If it's somebody else's kid, I don't listen.
You wouldn't go near them.
I wouldn't go near them. Plus, I feel today more than any other time in our lives, kids, they don't. I see a lot of kids with snot, and they don't look washed. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sure you're seeing this. Even when we come into your office, the kid's hair is done. Even if they got the flu, Caruso's coming in.
Right, he's
with gel.
I mean, he's unbelievable.
I just feel like the presentation on a lot of these kids, like I'll see a kid at the school or I'll see a kid at the restaurant and he'll look like hell. Yeah. And I tell my kid, get over here. I don't want you getting what they got because they don't look healthy. I'm not saying like they're dying. Right. I'm just saying the presentation on them. It's like take a wet, like when Caruso has like chocolate here, I take and I wipe it off.
A little bit. I get it. If you don't like a dirty child.
This goes right to you people because this is who I'm talking to. If you're going to bring your kid out in public, maybe run a comb or a brush through the hair. Wipe down the snot or just, this is what you should be telling your patients that come into the office. Should be part of the practice.
This is going to be part of my anticipatory guidance. Comb your child's hair. Put on a little rouge.
Yeah, put on something. Yeah. I put a little cologne on Caruso's ear.
Just a dab.
Unbelievable podcast today. I gotta tell you, every time I'm doing these podcasts, I'm learning something new. Today, what did we have? Pissing in pumpkins. Again.
Actually, the title of your new book. That's great. That's
what other podcast?
The life story of Sebastian Maniscalco.
Tantrums. A 4-year-old kid throwing tantrums to get Legos that he doesn't.
And he got them. Yeah.
What else did we have? Do you remember?
Do we remember?
This is the biggest part of the show.
This is the hardest part of the show. You could ask me. We have a section on stumping Dr. Cohen where Sebastian just rapid fires questions and I attempt to answer them because it's just really how he thinks. It's just a little off.
I got it. Last one.
What's the last one?
Just had him. Farting, gas. Is it too excessive? What's enough gas?
In a baby.
Yeah, just amazing, amazing content. Not only that you could listen to and enjoy, but then apply in your.
You can't mess up as a parent after watching our podcast.
No, what we plan on doing, the range, right? And what we're gonna do is archive all this stuff, and you could go back and reference it. We just want to let you guys know you're not alone. in parenting. And this podcast is created for you guys to feel like you're not such on an island.
We're the Cliff Notes for parents.
Yes.
Dr. Scott's common sense bottom line and what Sebastian says, which usually trumps my bottom line. There you have it.
One more thing before, as I'm looking at myself on this screen, never, ever wear ankle socks on a wide shot.
The opinions expressed in this program are not intended as professional medical advice, as a diagnosis, as a treatment protocol, or as a substitute for professional medical advice from your physician. Please consider your own medical history and consult with your own physician for your specific healthcare and/or medical needs and about your concerns for yourself and your family.